Welcome to the Vitality Lounge, a place where the uncomfortable questions become comfortable, where conversations, topics, and expert guests unlock the keys to vitality, empowering you to embrace the vibrant life you deserve. Now here's your host, Nicole Bach.
Today's guest is a true embodiment of divine feminine healing. She's a hypnotist, Reiki master, and sensuality mentor. Through energy work, subconscious healing, and radical embodiment, she helps others reconnect to their truth and awaken their deepest vitality. Please welcome the radiant Melissa Laurie. Hi, Melissa. Welcome to the Vitality Lounge.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I'm so happy to have you here. You have such an amazing energy, so I was so excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you.
Melissa, we always start the podcast by asking, what is vitality and what does it mean to you?
Ooh. I think vitality could encompass pretty much everything in life. It's our life force. It's our passion. It's our everyday energy. I like to say how we do one thing is how we do everything. Mm-hmm. So I think if you don't have your vitality, how are you showing up in the world?
So true.
How are you even living?
Exactly. Or vitality, living, that's part of the name in the word, right?
Yeah.
And so if you don't have that spark, that energy, is it actually life, or are you just going through the motions of life?
You're like merely just existing. You're not really living, is what I like to say.
I don't want to just exist.
No, it's boring.
Yeah, exactly. So you have definitely not a boring life. So tell me a little bit about your background, your story, and where you're at right now.
Okay, I'll give you... Yeah.
Quick, because I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I just want to fix this cable here because it didn't look good.
Doesn't look nice? Yeah. Make her look pretty.
Okay.
Make her look nice. She looks better.
Do we start from...
Ask me that question again.
Okay. Melissa, you definitely let me start that one again. Melissa, you definitely don't have a boring life. So
That's fair.
Tell me a little bit about your background and where you're at right now.
Okay, do we want the short version or the long version? Let's do
whatever
a short version.
Works best, whatever is most interesting.
I feel like I just posted a video about this. I feel like I've lived so many different lives in this like one lifetime. If you've ever read the book like Many Lives, Many Masters, that it feels very resonant to me. I have a 15-year background in modeling and the entertainment industry, and I kind of just transformed. I would say probably about 7 or 8 years ago, I started to transform my life into this spiritual Reiki goddess, if you will.
Yes.
I think I was always a spiritual person. I think, first of all, we're all spiritual people, right? I think it's being aware of being spiritual. And I always kind of questioned that there was something more out there.
Yeah.
I was just kind of the black sheep of the family, the kids that it's easy for me to make friends but didn't keep them. I just always felt like there was something else. So my life took me on a journey of, I think, being very sick mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty, right? Things aren't happening to us, they're happening for us. So of course you're stuck in the victim. You don't understand why God, why me, why. We ask all the questions why, without really understanding that it is happening for us. It's happening to propel us into our story. And that's where it's like becomes the hero's journey, right? Instead of victim, you become victor. So I was having all of these health issues and depression as well, on top of suicidal ideation, anxiety, you name it, OCD, all of the things. And I just felt like a zombie.
Yep.
I really, going back to just existing, I didn't even want to live because I didn't find vitality. I didn't find pleasure in anything at all. There's people that struggle with depression or anxiety. Getting out of bed is hard.
Yeah.
Like you just really can't find like the will. So I think I began to have multiple spiritual awakenings, and that's what really propelled me into my own journey and then becoming a Reiki master teacher, doing a bunch of plant medicine, entering that world of a whole new world, if you will, of healing and what we're really doing here.
Yeah. What was the moment, or was there a specific moment in time that you remember that really was that breakthrough moment where you're like, this has to change and this is what I'm going to do? Or was there a mentor, a friend, someone that helped you through it?
I think there's multiple, right? I think ones that come to mind for sure are my Kabbalah teacher. I'm studying Kabbalah, actually. David Guillaume, who is amazing. I found him actually through YouTube, and then he reached out to me on Instagram. I love Carl Jung, Alan Watts, and those are obviously, we're talking years old. I love Mel Robbins, if you've ever heard her.
I actually follow
the
her.
Let Them theory.
Would love to have her on this podcast.
God.
We'll see if we get there.
She just, Jay Shetty, of course. There's so many, Lewis Howes, there's so many incredible people. Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you really want to get into like the metaphysics of like the brain and the heart. There's so many people I think that have helped me on the journey, and I think that's important, that a lot of the times we think that we have to do it alone, and you can't do it alone. You need people. We were wired for connection and to be together.
Yeah.
So we need people. So I definitely look up to all of these people. And even anyone I meet, even if they're seemingly like no one, they're teaching me something.
Yes.
So everyone is a teacher, really.
Yeah, for sure. I love that you brought up so many like different kind of people, you know. It's not just one way. You get inspired by so many different people. You learn, you listen. A mentor can be someone that you know in person, but a mentor can also be someone that you just follow and admire.
Exactly.
And just gets you out of that space.
Exactly.
Right? That's amazing. And it's amazing that you found that strength. I think it's nice to see you here, and you look incredible, full of energy, radiant, right? And it's hard to imagine you in a state that is different.
I think we just see, I made a video about this earlier. We see such a small, we only see 1% of the visible light spectrum, and we only really see like 1% of who we are and even other people. And I think that's why it's so important to always just be kind to people, because we don't know what anyone is going through. By looking at them, someone could look healthy, happy, and you don't know that they're going home and crying themselves to sleep, or they have an addiction, or they have a brain disorder, or whatever it could be, right?
Yeah.
We don't know by looking at people. So I think that's also an important part of what I do in my platform, is obviously anti-bullying and just being accepting and having compassion for people, because everyone is struggling with something that you can't see on the surface.
Yeah. I'm going to bring it to something that we spoke about actually on the phone the first time we connected. And you have quite a following on social media, but it's a following that started from a different perspective, or from a different background, and now you're really trying to transform it. And it's been a process, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think nowadays we do get affected a lot by what we see on social media, but the reaction, the algorithm as well, that what pushes back. And then if you're trying to change, it's really hard to change.
Oh, yeah.
If your business is practically run on those platforms.
Oh, yeah.
So do you mind kind of sharing a little bit
Of course.
what that content was before, where you realized, and it's part of your growth, that you needed to change and be your true authentic self, and then
Absolutely.
showcasing that and just trusting the process?
Absolutely. So because I had this 15-year experience in the modeling industry, I did work with Playboy many times. I did a lot of art nude modeling. I was in Vegas and New York and Cali and did the whole thing, and the cars and the jets and all of that, the magazines, all of it. So I predominantly build my platform on male followers.
Yep.
So I'm saying it is, and it has been, because it's still ongoing, it has been a really hard transition, because you built it on one thing, and I've lost, I think, like 30,000 followers on Instagram. And in the beginning, there's that little clout chase, right? Where you're posting for the likes and the comments and it's super exciting. I call it like little dopamine hits.
It totally is. Totally is. I mean, social media is dopamine
every time
in a
you
different
get a
way.
like or a comment, you're like, ooh, yay,
Ooh,
people
who
like
was
me.
it? Yep.
Right. So it has been hard. And I think right now I'm posting so authentically to myself. and even on Instagram, my engagement is horrible right now. I don't care though, because what I'm posting resonates with me, so it makes me happy. And even if that means losing the followers, to me, they were never really about me anyway, because the people that will stick with me, the people that will stick with anybody, they're there for the journey. Yeah. So they're there to meet the different versions of yourself. Every day we're a new person. We're never the same person. No. So we're always going to be evolving and growing and changing. That's what we're supposed to do. If we stayed the same, again, life would be boring.
Yes.
We wouldn't, it would just be the same monotonous thing day in and day out. We're supposed to change.
We have so many facets within ourselves. Like we can't just be one facet. Like we can present that in a way. Obviously, if I'm at work, I present one facet of myself. If I'm at home, I present another one. At work, I might be presenting multiple facets too, you know, depending on if I'm creative or if I have to direct. So there's so many different areas of ourselves. Can't limit ourselves.
No, and if we limit ourselves, other people are going to limit us. And then we're caught in this spiral, in this loop, which is what most people get caught in, like the looping patterns and the thoughts of like, this is who I am. I'm stuck like this. There's no changing. And you can decide today, I'm going to become a runner. I'm going to go to nursing school. Whatever it is you decide, you get to decide. It's really your story or your movie. You're the one that gets to decide. So I'm okay with losing people. I want to bring in the right people that like my content and that are going to get something from it. Yep. Not just me posting sexy photos, even though that's a part of me, and that's, of course, it's a beautiful part of me. And you know, now I have some mentors and they're like, don't lose that side of you. Because I'm like, oh no, I can't be that person if I'm trying to be you can be all encompassing, all of the facets, like you were saying. You could be everything. Why is it just one thing?
Correct. How do you get out of that loop that you've talked about? Or how did you get out of that loop? Or what would you recommend?
So, again, it's funny, everything we talk about, like I made a video on this. I made a video earlier about, I personally do a lot of plant medicine. Yeah. That helps me. That doesn't mean everyone should go out and do it. I don't recommend, you know, decide for yourself. Yeah. That personally helped me in my journey and plays such a massive part. If it wasn't for that, I honestly don't know if I would be here, because I was struggling so badly with depression and suicide and all these things and health issues. That's really what propelled me. It was that, discovering Reiki, discovering all these alternative healing modalities, than just going to the doctor and taking prescription pills.
Yes.
That wasn't working for me.
That's not what we promote here. What we promote is really find what works
to each
for
his
you,
own,
to
right?
each their own. There's
Doctors
a
are
time,
necessary.
100%.
Medications are necessary. But I think it's really deciding for yourself. And I kind of decided enough is enough. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of being a victim. I'm tired of being on all these prescription medications. I was on birth control for 15 years. I was on antidepressant, anti-anxiety.
A whole conversation there.
There were just so many things. And I'm like, I am done. If something doesn't change, I don't want to keep living. So I had all of this happening at once, where I basically went vegan. I went celibate. I decided not to have sex at all, go on dates, do anything. I went off birth control. I went off all prescription meds, and I went like full force into plant medicine. So I like went all in at the same time.
That's what change is. I mean, especially if you find yourself in that dark spot, you hit rock bottom. It can't be, oh, let me just do one little thing. No. At one point, it's radical change. Yeah. If it doesn't mean it's always the case, and little things help you towards better healing, and it's a process, and it's hard. It's not up. It's not all the way up.
It's a spiral.
It's up and down. It's a spiral. You go back. Exactly.
Curveballs.
But sometimes you need that radical thing to just go, okay, black and white, out.
Yeah. I think most people do need that. I'm not saying everyone, again. I'm not saying everybody needs that, because people can decide. But most of us are stubborn. Most of us are control freaks. Let's be honest. So it is really hard to get out of that. Oh, yeah. So I know I like to say, like a smack in the face. Like I couldn't get there on my own. I needed the help.
Yeah, we're animals of habit, you know. We tend to go back to what we feel comfortable with,
Yeah.
and we do fear the unknown.
Of
And so
course.
the tendency, and that's why you see, unfortunately, a lot of people may be unhappy on where they are, and it's just a matter of like, don't fear.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Acknowledge it, and then find a way to react that is actually positive and moves you
Right.
along the line instead of just holds you back.
Right. And spiraling into, I can't do this, I'm never going to change, all of that. It's almost, in Kabbalah, we learn it's like you have basically our own Satan talking to us and telling us all the negative and all of the reasons why we can't heal, we can't go forward, we can't. And it's like you just have to shut off that noise. You have to just shut it off, shut it down, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about all these practices that are heard of, but judged or just misinterpreted, misunderstood. We mentioned Kabbalah, we mentioned Reiki. If someone does not know at all what they are, give us a quick interview, let's
For
say,
sure.
of insight in there, and then we'll dive a little deeper.
Of course. So I think we're living in a beautiful age because things are really changing. I think the consciousness of the world is changing, and we are kind of slowly going back to a more plant-based overall lifestyle. I think because people are really starting to wake up and they're wanting to take their own health and their own mental, everything into their own hands.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to realize that it's not looking outside, it's looking within. So it is a really beautiful time because 8 years ago when I started doing plant medicine and was doing Reiki and doing all these things, they're like, are you okay? Like, she's off the deep end, like something's wrong with her. And now you say ayahuasca or you say Reiki and people, yeah, oh, I had a friend that does that. Oh yeah, I know. Where 7-8 years ago, it was like, you're doing what?
Yeah, well, what is it?
Right. So it's really beautiful to watch that unfold before my eyes because I kind of was like the thought leader, I guess, or the first person to kind of do it in my group of friends or family. And so Reiki essentially it's a Japanese tradition, and all it is a relaxation technique that promotes healing. It uses the palms to channel energy because that's where we get energy, is through our palms and our feet is how the energy goes in and out, which makes a lot of sense. You know, you're walking on the earth, you're walking on the ground. Energy needs to come and leave the body.
Yep. Hey everyone, I've had some of you ask me, Vitality Lounge powered by Gainswave. But what is Gainswave? Well, let me tell you. Gainswave is the leading regenerative solution for him, her, and recovery. If you're ready to feel more alive in your body, Gainswave uses safe, non-invasive acoustic wave therapy that boosts blood flow, sensitivity, performance, relief, and healing without pills, needles, or downtime. Absolutely pain-free and under 15 minutes. Restore performance from the inside out and reclaim your spark with Gainswave. So if you're ready to go deeper into pleasure, connection, and peak performance, go to Gainswave.com and find a provider near you today. Embrace vitality.
So essentially, I'm never healing anyone. We're only healing ourselves. So what I do in my sessions, I'm calling upon Reiki, which is an energy. It's a divine, loving presence and energy. But the client, the patient, is the one doing the work.
Yep.
I'm simply guiding.
Facilitating.
Exactly, for you to become aware of your own energy, and then we're moving the energy where it's stuck in the chakras, which are the 7 main energy centers. So I like to say that everything is really similar. Reiki is basically plant medicine without the drinking the brew and going on a psychedelic experience, because essentially you're still having the purge. Your body is still releasing.
Yeah.
Now that could look like sweating, crying, shaking, yawning, your stomach's grumbling. All of those are indications of healing, of that your body is moving and releasing the stored energy. So when you think about it like that, It's so easy. And people are like, so what are you doing? You're just like touching me. And then if you explain it to an everyday person, they're going to be like, this is woo woo. This is crazy, that you're not doing anything. Someone has to be open to this. And
I think
that's
someone has to be open and connected to their own energy and
Yes.
understanding that there is energy. We're so
Yes.
disconnected nowadays.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're not able to be in touch with ourselves. And that's why
Yes.
we're just like, well, that doesn't make sense. Or
Yeah.
if it's not something concrete that I can touch physical,
Exactly.
then no.
They need to touch it. They need to feel it. They need to.
There's so much more around us.
So
and
much more.
I believe in energy so much, right? Energy, everything is energy. This
Everything.
exchange is energy.
Everything.
I am
couch,
energy.
our voice.
Everything is energy. So to me, it totally makes sense that
Yeah.
there is a way to handle and facilitate and maneuver that energy and how we feel stuck. That's
Yeah.
energy that is stuck within ourselves. So if someone helps us and guides us through it through certain techniques, then of course there's going to be relief,
Exactly.
everything. You're treating internally the kind of root cause that is
Yeah.
holding you back.
And that's essentially like what I'm doing. I say we, light workers, people in the spiritual realm, that's what we're essentially doing. We're trying to get to the root cause before it manifests into the physical.
Yeah.
With Reiki, we're taught everything is on an energetic and in an oral level. You get sick in your aura before it manifests into physical illness. COVID, cancer, autoimmune diseases, all of these things, they do play a genetic role, yes,
Yeah,
but it is on an energetic level of trauma.
100%. 100%.
It is.
I want to connect to something about this, so remind me of it if I forget.
Okay.
But I want to go into Kabbalah real quick because
Okay.
we wanted to kind of the difference and the definition of that.
So I just finished my second level of Kabbalah. Now, I am Jewish. That means nothing, though, because anybody could study Kabbalah. Kabbalah is the study of creation and what we're doing here.
Okay.
Doesn't everybody want to know that? I think everybody wants to know that. What are we
Yeah.
doing here? Why do things happen in my life the way that they're happening?
Yeah.
So Kabbalah is for everyone. And I'm not a super religious person. I identify as Jewish. But to me, if you believe in a higher power, God, whoever, the universe, Jesus, whatever, a divine light, and you just try not to do harm to other people, isn't that all really religion is? We're all praying for the same thing. We're all praying to a God. We're all praying for our families to be abundant, happy, and healthy.
Yep.
Isn't that that's really what it is? Like, that's to me what religion is. I don't want to get too far into that because I don't want to trigger anybody. But I think that's why I'm so accepting, and we're taught to be accepting because we're all the same.
Yeah.
We're all the same here. We're all trying to just be happy, be healthy, figure out our purpose, and leave our mark before we die, before we leave this earth.
Yeah.
So Kabbalah really helps you understand why things are happening. That, again, as I said before, that things are happening for you and not to you. And he's very
I love
funny.
that sentence, by the way.
He's very funny when he teaches. Your wife cheated on you? Yeah, what a pleasure. Someone just screwed you out $1 million? What a pleasure. And it's like, how could you think that that's pleasurable?
Yes.
But that's really what you have to look at it, how you have to look at it, is that everything that happens to you, it was planned before we came here. It was agreed upon so you can elevate into higher consciousness.
Yeah.
When you think about it like that, it does make it easier.
Okay, next. So what do I
What do you
learn
got
from
for me
this?
next, God? Okay. And that's essentially like the joke of like, all right, whatever you throw at me, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to handle it.
Yeah.
I'm a warrior.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
For me, it's always about kind of the learnings that come, right? And I'm trying to
course.
interpret hard times. I've gone myself through a hard time, like the past couple of years as well, just trying to really figure out myself, understanding just rough times in life, emotionally speaking. And I'm like, okay, what do I learn from this?
Yes.
Ultimately, I have to
Yes.
get out with a learning.
Yes.
Because there's a reason, and if it happens again, it means I haven't learned the lesson.
Amen.
And you go back,
Bingo.
and it's a cycle, right? And once you learn
Spirals.
it means you elevate and go up a little
Exactly.
step. So I think that makes, again, a lot of sense, and I do try to incentivize everyone to think about it like that. And it's not easy. Don't get me
No,
wrong. I have a lot of moments where I'm just like, and it's
I give up.
deep and down, and I give up, and it's
But even
rough.
knowing, and you just said it so beautifully, and even knowing what we know, sometimes it still hurts. It feels personal. It feels
Of
like we're a
course.
victim. It feels like God is punishing us. And it's so hard to get out of that thinking when you're going through it. It's so easy to tell someone else, everything's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Until
right?
it's happening to you.
Correct.
And then it feels really personal.
Or you go into victim mentality as well, which is, again, it's like, it's not the way of towards growth.
No.
It's more of a way that you're going to be stuck because
Yeah.
you blame everything outside instead of looking like, okay, what could I have done better?
Right.
And how can I make it better for the next time?
And we are essentially, we're the reasons for our own suffering.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't get me wrong. I was just going through something a few months ago. I was in a horrible depression. And being a healer, it's kind of hard to admit it.
Yeah.
It's really hard because people come to me in depression. I'm supposed to help them. I can't be depressed.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought I healed this.
Yeah.
And God was like, you thought. And every time you get a little cocky and you think something's healed, that's when he'll show you, I'm going to smack you in the face and show you still. The healer always has healing. We all have healing. You never get cocky because he'll put you right back into that place. And now coming out on the other side, I'm like, wow, I needed that lesson. It was so painful. I was crying every day. I was like very worried about myself. And I actually did go to do ayahuasca for the 9th time. And, you know, it's very interesting because in my journey, nothing happened. For the first time in my life, I sat in ceremony and essentially nothing happened. And God mocked me. And he said, you already know.
Yeah.
I know you know. This one's on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. Mind blown. So essentially nothing happened, but everything happened.
Yeah. I think what you just said is you already know.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, like, we already know. We already know if something is good for us, if something is bad, if we're doing a good job, if we're not. We can question sometimes, but inside, you feel it. Is this the right person? Is it not? Is this a good potential friendship? Like, you know.
Yeah.
You just have to learn to listen, and we don't listen enough. We talk a lot. There's a lot of noise everywhere, and we don't listen
Trust our own intuition, our own voice. So, like, it's always speaking to us.
Yeah.
It's pinging us. It's telling us when to leave the house, what outfit to wear. Should I go out on a date with them? It's telling us.
Yes.
And if we quiet everything else, we can hear it.
Yeah.
But I think most people aren't ready to hear the truth too. I think
scary
I think
to
most
hear the
people
truth.
aren't ready to hear the truth of what it is. So we numb and we crash out, and that's the new term, right? We numb and we drink and we smoke and we have sex with people and we gamble and we shop so we can drown out the voice that's talking to us.
Yeah. Something that I like to touch upon a lot is sexuality, sensuality. I'm a dancer, so I love to dance, and I love that's a form of expression for me, and it's a way how I touched into my sensuality in a way that I found a deeper connection with myself, the person that I am, the woman that I am.
Amen.
And I wasn't able to express that before because there's a lot of, again, judgment potentially that comes with it. And we, again, are a lot of different people, personas in one, and we have to accept all of those parts of us. So I know you kind of mentioned you're trying to bring that part into your life as well, without actually not bring it in, but
keep it
right?
in my life.
And I just wanted to hear your thoughts about this.
Well, I love that you said you were a dancer. I think we talked about this briefly. What kind of?
I'm a salsa dancer.
Amazing.
Salsa, bachata,
Beautiful.
partner work.
I'm terrible at all of that, but I'd love to do it. I think we talked about this, but there's so many things. I also am and was a dancer. I did ballet, tap and jazz, gymnastics, cheerleading, and I was a go-go dancer for many years for music festivals, nightclubs right here in Miami.
Amazing.
And it is an amazing form of expression. I think actually that's still like my one thing that I think you might ask this later, but I'll say it now. That's like my one thing where I feel so feminine. I feel so good when I go out dancing. And mind you, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I do partake in psychedelics. That's the only thing that I do, but it's not even about that.
Yeah.
It's about the music.
Yes.
It feels so good to just go out, dance the night away, even at almost 35, and then I don't have to do it again for like 6 months. But it is such a delicious form of expression for a woman.
Yeah.
Because that's embodying femininity.
Yeah.
Like flowing and movement
Yes.
is exactly what being feminine is all about.
Yeah.
So, and it has the stigma like everything else. First of all, when you first say dancer, everyone automatically assumes, you know what, and it's nothing knocking
all.
that. But dance is so beautiful, whether you are a go-go dancer, a ballet dancer, a salsa dancer, a stripper.
Yeah.
All of it is gorgeous. It's beautiful. So
If you do it in the right mindset
yes,
as well.
everything's intention,
Yep.
right? Everything's intention. And I think it is important to not lose that side of yourself, no matter what age you are, no matter how far you've come, because that is like the sacred femininity.
Yeah.
Is the art.
Yeah.
And dancing for me, also dancing, but modeling, I want to make sure I don't lose that. I guess we get so caught up in being portrayed the right way, where again, you know, I'm coming out of Playboy model Melissa Lurie. And it's like, that's great. I'm glad I had the name because Playboy was a dream.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to me.
Of
There's
course.
so much more that's just like a tiny part of who I am.
Yeah.
Is this seductress, sexy, sensual side. Don't want to lose her. I've lost her before. I don't want to lose her. But there's so much more, right?
Yeah.
Than just that.
Yeah. Do you work with women and men alike? Do you find that there's interest in both sexes to actually express and go deeper?
Absolutely. Surprisingly, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say it's because of what I do that I attract men, but I actually have a very large group of male clients. And I don't know if it's because, again, there's this awakening now and men are everyone's trying to heal and everyone's trying to tap in to their own energy. But I have a lot of male clients and it's so beautiful to hold space. I was listening to a podcast right before this about dating and what's going wrong and why men and women and how we are different, but men were never really given the safety to like express themselves. So whereas like women come to me and it's very easy, I'm seeing men cry for the first time in 10 years. Or I'm seeing a side of men that no one sees. And I think that's the beautiful part about therapy, right? Is any form of therapy is great. Men are usually turned off from therapy. But I would say that it's 50-50. I would say, if anything, I have just as many male clients as females. And I love it. I hold extra space for them because I know the way that this toxic masculine culture, and they're raised on man up, don't cry, don't be a little, a little boy about it. Boys don't cry.
Yep.
And it's like we're breeding like this toxic masculine culture of like where men can't express themselves. And then on top of them not being able to express themselves, they don't know how to hold safety for us as women.
Correct. It's a
they
lot
like,
of balance, energy.
She's crying, what do I do with her?
They have no idea, of course.
They don't know because they're not tapped in. And as men and women, you know this, you're a spiritual person that's aware, we have masculine and feminine energies. So men have feminine energy. That's normal. They're just so deeply disconnected and not tapped into it.
Yeah.
So I am usually the one witnessing that for the first time. And it's so beautiful for me of like getting to hold space for the men, because we need more men that actually cry. We need more men that are tapped in, that are emotional, because that's what's going to help relationships in like the long term. Like we're in this situationship hookup culture. No one wants to get married. No one takes anyone serious, but that's not sustainable. If we want to sustain life, we need relationships and we need to thrive and have children that are healthy.
Yeah, of course. We talked about how everything changed and like how you saw kind of the space that you're in develop in the past 9 years since you started.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations and what do you see the next 10 years? Or how do you think that in 10 years this space will be?
God.
Like for myself or like as a whole or both?
Both. Let's do
Okay.
both.
You know, when you're dating, it's so, I'm gonna use an example. When you're dating, it's so funny when you go on dates and people are like, what do you do? What's your 5-year plan? And like, that's like the worst question that I guess an asleep man could ask me, because I would say my 5-10 life year plan, like for me and for everyone, peace, love, wellness,
Yeah.
abundance. And they like look at me and they're like, that's your plan? And it's like, yeah, that's literally my goal, whatever it looks like, whether I'm in a relationship, I'm single, I have kids, I'm traveling the world, whatever I'm doing in business, that actually is the ultimate goal in life. So like, I don't know if I actually have a 5 or 10 year plan. On one hand, right, to people, they're like, no, like what do you want to do? I could tell you a million things I want to do.
course.
I think I want to have my own podcast one day.
There you go.
I want to have a course where I teach people about spirituality. I want to thrive even more in my Reiki practice. I want to get multiple certifications. I want to help as many people as possible. All of that, all of it. But like the ultimate goal really is to get back to love and to be happy and to inspire the masses, right?
Yeah.
Like I said before, we're trying to leave our mark before we leave this world. So I think the goal for me and for everyone is similar. If that's not your goal, like what are you even doing here, right? But you ask a normal person, I want to make a lot of money. I want to have a house. I want to have 6 cars. I want to.
But isn't that all materialistic?
And
Like, is that really what you value?
Those people will never be happy. If that's what you're really valuing, of course I want to be financially free. Who doesn't?
Of course.
Of course. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying right now I'm living with my parents. I just moved from Miami to move in with my parents. The ego will tell you that that's a step back. I had friends in my ear telling me, ooh, are you okay? You're taking a step back. I don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
I look at it as divine alignment to further my purpose.
Yeah.
It is happening for me in so many ways that I probably can't even see right now. But of course the ego is like, I'm a grown adult. I should have a house and a car paid off by now. That's not the journey.
Because that's the expectation that people set for you,
Right.
for yourself. You set those expectations because those
Right.
are the societal norms that we're used to.
Exactly.
But doesn't mean that's your journey. It doesn't mean anything.
And what is success, right? You have to break down. Success is something different for every
Yeah.
person. Words are words. Words are only words that we give meaning to them.
Correct.
The Buddhists tell you there is no good or bad. Everything just is neutral, actually.
Yeah.
It's what we associate with that.
Yeah.
So I think, ultimately the goal is to be happy, to be thriving, to be helping as many people as I possibly can, whatever that looks like. I want to write a book, which this is the second podcast I'm saying this on, so I guess
Manifest.
I have to
You're
write
manifesting
I have
it.
to write a book now. But it's okay. I like the challenge. Yeah, I want to help. And that was the first thing that my Reiki master, my own teacher, when I was in the throes of my depression and I couldn't even look someone in the eyes. I had such bad fear and social anxiety. I would have panic attacks if I left my house.
Wow.
And she's like, what do you want to do in life? And I said, I want to help people, but I'm so messed up, I can't even help myself. And I just cried on her couch. And this was like 8 years ago. And to be where I am now, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's happening.
That's
so
amazing.
it's just so beautiful to watch the journey and the transformation.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love that for you and everyone that you're helping. So thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
that. And thank you. I think again, what we were saying about societal norms, like it takes courage and self-respect, but also understanding and appreciation of yourself to
Yeah.
admit a simple thing, which I'm like, yeah, it's totally fine. But some people
Yeah.
might say, oh, wait, like she's living at home, kind of. And that's one thing.
Yeah.
Or she was a Playboy model. Like
Right. All the
being
stigmas.
able to just stigmas. First of all, stigmas are associated. Anything you say, someone will have a stigma on.
Fat,
So
skinny,
just-
tall, short. It
Just
doesn't
be
matter.
yourself. It doesn't matter.
You're never
It
going to
really
be good
doesn't.
enough for people
That
aren't good enough for themselves.
that is
and
so
that's,
true.
And that's what judgment is, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say a healed person, but I would say a healthy mind is someone that doesn't judge someone else. They see someone and they see so much beauty in whatever they look at.
Yeah.
Hurt people, healed people, heal people.
Yes, that's
the
so
phrase,
true.
right?
Melissa, if you have one word of advice that you would give to our listeners today, what would it be? A sentence or a motto that you live by?
Okay, the first one that comes to mind is the first phrase that I ever got in my first ayahuasca awakening journey. And this was screaming at me. I remember laying there and it was screaming in my ear. We create our own reality. No one else.
Yeah.
And that gives you the power. That puts the power back in your hands of you are the one. You're the one that's going to save you. You're the one that's going to change your life. People can help you,
Of course.
but essentially no one's going to do it for you. If you want to move, you are not a tree. Get up and move.
Yes.
You create your own reality and start today.
Yeah.
Start yesterday. Start scared. Start afraid. Start anywhere.
Start
Just
broken. It doesn't matter.
Broken.
Yeah.
Just start.
Yeah. Melissa, where can people find you if they want to look you up, if they want to be part of, maybe a client of yours?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So my website is called metamorphosis.com, which I created that name. I'm so proud of because it's metamorphosis as in
Yes.
butterfly, which I love.
Love.
And my name is Melissa. So metamorphosis.com. It gives you a little more info about Reiki and just what it is and how to reach me and book a session. And then Instagram and Facebook, you can find me at Melissa Laurie. My YouTube channel, which I'm trying to grow as well,
Let's
is
go.
Melissa Laurie Official. And then, I do TikTok things. I think it's the Melissa Laurie because someone stole my name, but
It's okay. You got it. We'll find
basically
you.
Melissa Laurie everywhere.
Yes. I love that. Melissa, thank you so much for being here today.
you.
For sharing your story, for sharing what you do in your practice and just
Thank
your
you.
beliefs. I think it will give so much good learning and teaching to everyone that is listening. So I
hope
really
so.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so beautiful.
Thank you.
You've been listening to The Vitality Lounge with Nicole Bach, powered by Gainswave. Make sure to subscribe to The Vitality Lounge wherever you get your podcasts. Gainswave is a clinically proven therapy that allows you to embrace vitality both in the bedroom and in your life. Whether to improve and boost performance, pleasure, and confidence, head on over to Gainswave.com. Thanks for listening.